what I mean, the back end of the first window yesterday was insanely good, and you have close games everywhere. And if you're a Cowboy fan, I am sorry, but it's going to be a run. Wow, week 1 of the NFL, week 3 of college football, or week 2 of college football is in the books, and we have so much to talk about today. Good morning to you. Happy Monday. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you living?
Oh, what it do?
I my run sheet is
Just
packed as it's
football.
been. Yeah. The U.S. Open has a new young winner on the men's side, and yeah, that's all good. But yes, and I'm going through this, and I'm like, okay, where do you start? Do you start with the college stuff? Do you start with the Lobos on Friday? Do you start with the Aggies and UTEP? No, you start last night with the Buccaneers, the Cowboys. And Dak Prescott going down with a hand injury and an inept offense. And I don't want to say so inept because I thought they were going to have problems scoring anyway. And I thought Tampa Bay's defense is probably as good as any in the league. And they showed that. And I thought Dallas' defense was really good too, keeping the Buccaneers out of the end zone most of the night. But 3 points isn't going to work. An offensive line that got more beat up yesterday in the first quarter when McGovern goes down, and then the news after the game that Dak Prescott's out and you are a Cooper Rush-led Dallas Cowboy team for the next 4 weeks or so, and you got a real problem. And when it comes to my top 3 winners and losers, you can imagine that the Cowboys will be on that list. That, to me, that's, I mean, out of week 1, everything that happened, all those great games. Kickers, by the way, is the other big headline. Freaking kickers. But, yeah, that's the biggest story to me out of the week.
The Cowboys are cooked. This is the unknown. It's 4 weeks. It could be 8 weeks. It's to be determined. But you can't just sit there and say, oh, it's just the NFC East. Because those other teams are going to find a way to win games.
They're 3-0.
And
they all won.
Everyone else other than the Dallas Cowboys won. And as slow as the Cowboys' offense looked, as poor as it looked before Dak got hurt, that was the biggest concern. Because there's a lot of teams out there, well, looking at one, Green Bay Packers, that don't even have a CD Lamb. It didn't look good. And the Dallas Cowboys, against a good defense, showed zero pulse offensively. And so, to me, they're cooked. Talk all you want, and I got the list of who they should call. Because if it is 8 weeks, you got to call someone. It ain't going to be Cooper Rush.
Is Jim Garoppolo at the top of that list?
I think it's actually Mason Rudolph.
See,
That's
people
top
love
of the
Mason
list.
Rudolph.
Just because I think it'd be easier to get. I
promise he'll be
think
easier to get.
San Francisco is going to trade him.
Last season, didn't Cooper fill in for Dak, and he actually did good,
He won a game. Yeah, he won one game. He started one game up in Minnesota and won one game. Yeah, he did.
So I don't know if we're totally.
You're cooked. If he's your guy,
I don't-
he's not that good.
I'm going to stay
In
positive.
fact, they
and
cut
I
him.
think we could have lost by a lot more.
Well, there's
I mean,
a
it was
positive.
only 18.
Yeah, you
I
feel-
mean,
you feel
it was
19
I
to
mean,
3.
what, like
19
okay,
One
so, yeah.
touchdown.
So I mean,
It's positive.
it wasn't that bad. I mean, we could have really gotten taken.
Taken to the
It
woodshed.
wasn't. Yeah, it
19
wasn't too bad.
3 with the AFC champions coming in next week.
Positive guys.
Not really. I mean, Cooper Rush did win a game last year. So people love them some Mason Rudolph. And I've seen enough of Mason Rudolph playing in football games, like more than one game, that I don't get it. Like, why is he that much better than Cooper Rush?
He's better than Cooper Rush just based on experience, and he's guided a team to a 500 record in like his starts. But the thing with the Cowboys is Cooper Rush. I think it's a toss-up. It's not. I'm saying you might have to make the call if it's 8 weeks, because that's just different. Cooper Rush for a week.
All right, so
Cooper Rush
who
for
else?
4 weeks.
Who else?
You're calling San Francisco.
Yeah, you are.
Because thumb injury, 8 weeks. Does it take 9 to 10 weeks for him to come back? Because it's just such an unknown window. That's
Now you'll know
an
more after
option
the surgery
if
today.
after the surgery.
Yeah, you'll
but
know.
right now, it's a Cooper Rush show for the Dallas Cowboys, and the concern is, are you even going to create anything because that offensive line was
It was horrible.
no bueno.
Yeah, no, it was bad. They couldn't move. I would have liked to see them feed Zeke a little more. I thought there was a little bit something to his step, the 10 times that he touched the ball. I would have liked to see something more.
Do they know that you can just throw or even hand the ball off to Tony Pollard, and you don't have to run a reverse or
something cute or throw
plays
yeah.
to lose yardage every time.
Yeah, I don't know if they do. All right, I got winners and losers. Steelers Bengals was an unbelievable game. Houston Indianapolis was crazy and ended in a tie. The Eagles hold on. The Saints come all the way back and steal one in Arizona. The Browns stole one from Baker Mayfield last second when it looked like Baker let his team down to win. The Giants go for two, and they win at the home of the AFC's #1 seed from a year prior. The Chargers, I thought, would Charger it, but they didn't. They beat the Raiders. Vikings dominated the Packers. There's problems in Green Bay. Chiefs dominated Arizona. Ravens looked good over the Jets. And
The
Washington.
Saints
Carson,
stole one too.
Yeah, no, did I miss that one? Yeah, Saints stole one in Atlanta. Yeah, 27-26. All right, Jerry, get us started. What's up?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I just want to say that was an incredible opening week. I think it really disrupted a lot of people's picks and things like that. But if anything, I think Antonio Brown is a hot commodity right now. I think his phone's blowing up. From what I saw, a lot of teams could benefit from a weapon like that, regardless of all-field antics. I think that's going to happen. I don't have any inside information, but everybody wrote him off like there's no way. But really, after watching all those games yesterday, there's lots of teams that would benefit from him. And also, I hate to rain on everyone's parade, but if the IRS is doubling the agents, you better keep good books on all your sports betting, everybody, because I have a feeling that's what they're doing. So I know that's a sad thing that nobody wants to bring up or talk about, but, sports and politics. But we're all sitting there with our cell phones yesterday on whatever platform that we enjoy and getting to it. And $20 here, $20 there, they're going to I don't know. That'll kind of take away the fun factor when you think about all of that. But
you
anyway,
can also write off your
I really
losses.
do think that Antonio Brown is going to be a hot commodity, and his phone's going to be blowing up this
Thanks,
week.
Jared.
Thanks,
No, I
guys.
appreciate you.
Have a great morning.
Jared, the public service announcement.
Appreciate
to get us
that.
going.
and we can get into that on a Wednesday. And that's the reason that they increased the IRS agents was to go after your. But you can write off your losses. If they can tax your winnings, you can write off your losses. You can write off gambling losses up to a certain point. I'm not an accountant. I'll defer to one, but I'm fairly certain.
Might be a good segment.
Fairly certain you can. And I
We
don't
should
know.
have A-Marie cover that on her betting
Yeah,
show.
that's right. I don't know at what point you have to win, by the way, and what to start declaring.
It's like $600 or something higher than that.
All right. Well, we'll play that on a game. That day that
But we will
have
get you that
confidence.
information because it sounds pretty important.
Yeah. All right. Here's what we're going to do today. Coming up at 8 o'clock, Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us, Lobo football coach. We're going to look back at the Lobos' 31-14 loss to Boise State on Friday night. We'll talk football probably the whole rest of the time and open it up to you. And we made a little alteration on the rules for football. So a couple times, if you know what I'm saying, is good. We're going to get through what the Mountain West did the week for the Sun Belt. Did you see what the Sun Belt did? JJ, is there an argument right now who the best Group of 5 league is, and it's not the American, it's not the Mountain West?
Here's another announcement. If you missed it,
Yeah.
we must all bow down to our Sunbelt overlords.
I mean to tell you, Appalachian State went into Texas A&M and beat the 6th-ranked Aggies 17-14. Marshall went into Notre Dame and beat the whatever rank they were, Fighting Irish 26-21. And then Georgia Southern and Clay Helton went to Nebraska and got Scott Frost fired 45-42. How about the weekend for the Sun Belt? Can you give it up just a little bit for them? And I know everybody's going, yeah, whatever. They're not that. Don't fool yourself. That's where Coastal Carolina lives. That's where that's the Sun Belt is no joke, boys and girls. Yeah, Southern Miss got beat by Miami. Okay, and in North Carolina for the second straight week, went on the road to a Sun Belt team. By the way, and barely got by Georgia State 35-28. But South Alabama beat that Central Michigan team that ran with Oklahoma State the other day. James Madison just beats the hell out of people 60-something to single digits. That's what they do every week. East Carolina was a winner. Louisiana was a winner. Troy was a winner. Texas State beat a Conference USA team. And then the three I just told you about it was just insanity the weekend they had. Mountain West, kind of not so good. Kind of the opposite, and we'll get into that. 505-246-0610. That's the way to get to us today. Area code 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. We're on the visual medium. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks on Comcast Channel 26 throughout the state, and on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. Stephanie, you heard, is in for A. Marie today. Glad you woke up and hung out with us this morning. We've got a whole slate of NFL to get through. I got the three biggest winners, three biggest losers as we Monday morning quarterback through your first full weekend of the NFL. We got a fun 3 hours in front of us. Glad you're with us on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the Sports Animal.
For the real story behind some of wrestling's biggest moments, it's Something to Wrestle with Bruce.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game, from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Steph's okay. She's looked at the good side. Cooper Rush is really good.
Steph's got your back.
Yeah, you're going to have a Cooper Rush.
And we did take Tom down a couple times.
He's 45 years old and can't move. I'm just saying.
Well, against a team that's better offensively,
Yes.
I'd be a little bit concerned. Here's the deal with Tampa Bay.
Well, they'll get a Joe Burrow next week because everybody gets a Joe Burrow.
Yeah. They were offensively, they had some issues,
Yep.
but they have plenty of room for growth, even with Chris Godwin, if he has to take a seat or two. Because you know who's found the fountain of youth? Julio Jones.
How about the way Julio looked? And it's funny, you start hanging out with Tommy, and you're younger, you're better, you're stronger. Julio, who kind of disappeared last year in Tennessee, 3 catches for 69 yards yesterday, and looked younger, looked stronger, looked bigger. I didn't think he was done. It was a weird spot last year in Tennessee, and he was injured all year.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Yeah.
He's been injured. They got him the ball in some sweeps, so they were confident just putting the football in his hands. And he was the 7th fastest wide receiver that was clocked on the field yesterday. That's not bad for 33-year-old Julio Jones.
So I
like on his go route, he hit the 7th fastest speed of a wide receiver.
I mean, I don't know that I've ever heard that stat on a field. Okay. All right, you want my 3 winners and 3 losers?
Go.
All right. Here's my my 3 winners. My 3 biggest winners of the first week of the National Football Week. Number 1, and don't consider this a cop out because I don't think it is. Number 1 is first time coaches. Kevin O'Connell, Mike McDaniels, Brian Daboll. These first-time coaches who went out and won games. It doesn't happen. It's not that easy. It doesn't happen very often. And for those guys to go out and win games, and for Brian Daboll to win the way he did, for Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota to beat the Packers the way they did, don't underestimate how important that is for those clubs. Those are clubs that obviously you make changes for a reason. For the Giants, and we'll get into them. I don't know if they're great, although I was almost going to have the Giants by themselves, and they'll be my number 2 team because I'll tell you why. But that's my number 1. Number 2 is the Giants. Not only do they win, but you know why they're number 2? Because Saquon looked like Saquon Barkley. They're my number 2 winner of the week because they had no idea what they were getting, or at least maybe you and I didn't. And Saquon had 164 yards rushing and another 30 yards receiving, almost 200 yards from scrimmage, and looked like Saquon Barkley. And to me, that's why they're the number 2 winner on the week, because they got a win. They got a coach who decided to go for a win instead of play for a tie. They went on the road and beat the number 1 seed in the AFC last year. And you can tell me they're a paper tiger all you want, but they were. And so that was big. And number 3 was Pittsburgh, because starting the Ben Roethlisberger, the post-Ben Roethlisberger era, and with a Mitchell Trubisky, they had the whole quarterback thing in camp. And to me, it was based on their defense. They won because of their defense, but they got enough out of that offense. Now, they lose Najee Harris, I think, for a little while. But I thought that was a huge in-division win against a team that dominated them last year, that went to the Super Bowl. So that's 1, 2, and 3 for me. You got issues? You can if you want.
No, the Steelers, they're a win, but they got a big asterisk because losing T.J. Watt
and T.J.
changes
Watt too, the pec muscle.
everything for them the rest of the season with the torn pectoral. They won that game because of their defense.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it was phenomenal. And what they were doing, Joe Burrow just lives for that, like getting beat up, falling behind, and trying to come back. Storming its way back.
Man, you're playing against him in fantasy. It pisses you off because he doesn't lose any points for those 5 turnovers, and I end up tying.
Depends on the league you're in.
It's
but
stupid.
He just lives to get beat up and come back and fight through it. Missed opportunity for Cincinnati. I believe Jamar Chase scored on that catch at the goal line.
Mhm.
I don't know why Zach Taylor, the head coach, didn't get
100%.
on the referees. Like, you need to look at this because it was under 2 minutes.
I think that's right.
Because we just scored a
How
touchdown.
did they not look at it under 2 minutes?
That's
on the league.
And then you feel like they would have made that extra point. Like 9 times out of 10, you're making that extra point. Then they play. Fouls on Steelers, going all the way down, 4 seconds up. Then they score. And then Minkah Fitzpatrick blocks the extra point, goes to overtime, and they have the craziness with the field goals.
Where they
but
both missed a field goal in overtime.
the Steelers' defense is absolutely one of the biggest winners of the weekend. And for the Giants, the way that Daniel Jones responded, because after the interception he threw in the end zone, just staring down Saquon Barkley, Brian Dable came over and started arguing with him.
He ripped him.
And got into it with him.
Oh.
And he came out. He led his team back down the field. He had a couple runs where he put his
Fourth
head
down,
down, got the first down, and you love to see it. Getting into it and then responding, and then going for 2, getting it done. So I'm right there with you with the Giants and Steelers and just what they did yesterday.
You okay with me taking the first-year coaches as number 1? Because I think to win for those franchises, for Miami to beat Bill Belichick, two is 4-0
were not
against
picked.
Bill Belichick.
No one was picking the Giants or Chicago to win those games.
No, and I forgot Matt Eberflus. And that's another huge win, by the way. And I almost put the Bears there, but I didn't because it's a little bit of a fluky win. But it's a win nonetheless.
But the second half for Justin Fields, 102 yards passing in the slot.
Yeah.
He made the plays.
Yeah.
Trey Lance could not.
And he didn't. And so those are my 3 biggest winners. My 3 biggest losers on the first week of the season. How about we're using Sunday? We're not really going on Thursday.
Sundays.
By far, Dallas. Not only losing the game 19-3 with the offensive line problems, but losing Dak. I mean, is this arguable?
No.
All right. Number 1 loser on the weekend was Dallas. Number 2 to me is Cincinnati, and I'll tell you why. They lose a game that they looked horrible, but here's my biggest issue with this. What was the one thing that they had to address in the offseason? What was the thing? Well, they got to the Super Bowl. If they clean up this, they're going to be really good because this is the one. What was it?
The offensive line.
Their offensive line. And Joe Burrow was on his back all day. Joe Burrow threw interceptions, turned the ball over 5 times. The offensive line did not look good.
7 sacks.
Yeah.
Hit 11 times.
That's a problem. And that's the Steelers are a good defense. They're playing another one this week in Dallas. They're in a tough division. I think that's a problem. So they were my number 2 loser. And my number 3 is Green Bay. Because they, not just because they got beat, but the way they got beat. And Aaron Rodgers' first game without Devontae Adams. Now, look, they lost their first game of the season last year. They lost at Arizona, and they were, look at them, and then they went on to become the number 1 seed in the NFC. So I'm not telling you it's over, but in week 1, they're my 3rd biggest loser because who's he throwing to? He throws a ball down the side to that rookie. You just told me, you just said his
Christian Watson.
Christian Watson, their first pick, their first receiver pick. and it drops it in the back. Like, you're an NFL receiver, bro. Like, what your job is to receive the football. You're running down sideline. It's a run-in touchdown. You got everybody beat. Aaron Rodgers drops it in the bucket, and you drop the ball. And that's what Aaron Rodgers was complaining about all training camp, was exactly that. I think they got a problem with their offensive line. And obviously he has no idea who his go-to receiver is. Now, Allen Lazard was out. That's probably his go-to receiver. And so I give it a little bit of a pass on that. But they're number 3 for me. You got a problem with those?
I don't. I really don't. Everything you said about Cincinnati, and they still had a chance to win that game. That's a big miss for the Bengals to be able to play that bad and then be a extra point away and then a kick in overtime and just so many other things in that contest to winning it. I'm right there with you. Green Bay, I know Allen Lazard was out. This isn't the way they operate. They need to be calling Seattle after tonight's game and saying, is Tyler Lockett available?
Tyler.
Because I don't think you're getting DK after he just
signed a
re-upped.
big
And I
deal,
think that's when they'll keep DK around for the next couple of seasons to see if they can find a quarterback. I'm calling about Tyler Lockett. I'm calling the New York Jets. And even someone like Corey Davis. Is he available? Because you got a lot of young receivers, a lot of options there. And then the T. Higgins injury changes this with the concussion. But, maybe it's just a week. Tyler Boyd. Another receiver I'm thinking about because they need a veteran number 2 in there for Aaron Rodgers this season. Because it's not as simple as last year where, all right, you got blued out week 1. They're going to have a lot of issues in that receiving core for a while because how young they are.
Honorable mention on the bad side list was Indianapolis. And can you give my boy Davis Mills a little love in the Houston Texans?
The Texans took advantage of the Colts' mistakes. And here's a question that you can ponder as we hit this break too.
Yeah.
Are you okay with Lovie Smith playing for a tie?
Yeah, a lot of people are really struggling with that. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Emails this morning, Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com, JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. We got a ton to talk about. Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Now's the time. Now's the time coming out of the summer, going into the fall to get your vehicle detailed. I get my vehicle detailed by On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They come out to my place where it's convenient for me, when it's convenient for me, and they detail my vehicle. Maybe get a coat of wax on there. But they go inside, outside, under the hood, around the tires, rims, under everything. Like, this is what the professionals do. This is what the car lots do. This is the best you can get. When they're done, it looks and feels and smells like the day you took it off the lot. Get it. You're probably going to keep your car for a while. With prices the way they are, with car values the way they are, pretty good chance you're going to have it for a while. Protect it. Ask them about their ceramic coating. It's the best way to protect your paint for years to come. They apply it by hand. It's the best way to do it. And they offer a 10% discount for our military. Schedule today online at otsdetailing.com. That's otsdetailing.com, or give them a call at 505-859-2859, 505-859-2859, On the Spot Automotive Detailing.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company. Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture.
Sniffing the glue.
You think so? You're the one who's telling me Cooper Rush is the great quarterback. Wait a minute, who's sniffing the glue? What do you got back there?
I'm just drinking the juice.
Drink that cowboy Kool-Aid.
Jamarcus Russell was on.
He's a great player. Deal with it. The late, great Al Davis. All right, 505-246-0610. Can I give you one more that we haven't hit before we take this next phone call? Tell me how big of a step back the Chiefs are going to take again. I forget. I forget what everybody's been telling me.
Stone cold take. Jeff Symbieta, if you haven't heard, it's the number one promo on this station.
What is it? I didn't hear
Your
the promo.
Patrick Mahomes take.
Was I wrong?
You were not wrong. How bad is Arizona defensively?
Okay. They looked
Patrick
really bad.
Mahomes, that offense, I'm still all in.
Yeah.
But my goodness. They're like, wait a second. We talked so much about Kyler Murray studying. We forgot we had to play defense.
Mahomes threw to 9 different. Well, he targeted 10. Completed to 9 different receivers. Threw for 360 yards, 5 touchdowns, and really did it in 3 quarters.
He's that dude.
Tell me again how they're. Tyreek Hill is just. They're not the best team in the AFC, and look, the Chargers are nice. Their roster is so good. They're better defense than what he saw yesterday. I got them all about the
Thursday
roster,
night,
but they get it Thursday night, and they damn near charged it the other day.
There's the difference.
Yeah,
the Chargers get
didn't
the
this
coffee
time. Yeah.
because coffee is for closers.
Yeah,
close that game out.
All right.
And Khalil Mack.
God, he's good. Yeah.
Immediate difference maker.
Yep. So is Devontae Adams. The Raiders are going to make the playoffs too. I think the Raiders are going to make the playoffs too. Good morning, Edward.
Good morning.
Good
you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're on the radio.
Jeff?
Yeah, Edward, you're on the radio.
Hello?
I guess his phone's not working. It couldn't work the other way. Is that his one call for the day? No. I'm kidding.
Well, it depends on who you ask.
That's right. If he wants to get back in, he can. But again, to me, that was, if you're going to ask me, the most impressive, like that and Justin Jefferson, He is Patrick Mahomes. 505-246-0610. You're welcome to get back in.
Did Green Bay not know about Justin Jefferson? Like, there were some times where he's coming across the field running wide open. You're like, who missed that assignment that bad?
How
like,
are
that
we single
can't happen.
teaming him all day? How is it single team?
Double coverage, Justin Jefferson.
That guy? Yeah. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me now? Hello? Edward? Edward, you're on the radio. What is he, new? I don't know what to tell you, man. He's gone again. Did he hang up on me again?
Wow.
All right. Well.
Just gave you 2 chances in 60 seconds.
He's like a rookie. He's never been. I'm kidding. Can I give you a couple other performances that were I don't know. What do you think of Lamar? Quiet.
Fine. Like,
fine.
Just
right.
The Jets did a lot to not be in that game, and Baltimore was like, okay, this is going to be an easy victory. Hit some downfield shots. Didn't have to run a lot at all.
So
Controlled
are you
the game.
concerned about who he's throwing the ball to? Lamar Jackson threw for 213 yards, only ran for 17. Bateman was he targeted Duvernay more than anybody else. Mark Andrews, obviously, is his guy. You concerned about that receiving core?
It's going to be one to watch.
Yeah.
When it gets tighter and they have to make more of those throws, and if teams say, all right, we'll see if Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay can beat us if you try to focus everything on Mark Andrews. And it's
Bateman gets deep. I mean, Bateman's got to go deep. I got a bunch more here. I got the Saints, what they did. Like, I was concerned about the Saints all day. That's my team out of the NFC South, and they're getting beat by Atlanta, and Jameis came back. Like, Jameis didn't look good most of the day, but when Jameis needed to look good, Jameis looked pretty good.
Those 2 throws
to
Michael Thomas.
And he's back.
Were really good throws because of where he put them.
That's right.
And the catches were even better.
And look, Michael Thomas is going to be a difference maker, whether you think so or not. All right, let me try one more time. Edward, you're on the radio. Hello, Edward.
Hey, we have good technology this morning. How are you guys?
Good. You got Jerry Palm's old phone, I see.
Well, I don't know, man. I think I've been consistent. I'm going to go rapid fire on college football real quick.
Go.
They play Steve Sarkisian $6.2 million a year. In the post game, which, by the way, that was a great game. My son had a great time, great atmosphere.
Texas,
they
Alabama.
pay him $6.2 million a year. And I know they had their backup QB in, but he's getting paid too, right? And he did a good job. Sark went far too conservative. And after the game, he said, we didn't lose, we ran out of time. That's a loser's mentality. He called the right blitz, and his linebacker couldn't make a tackle or safety, and they lost the game.
Yeah, they got there.
They lost the game. They got beat. Real quick on Notre Dame, Jeff, and I texted you this.
Yeah.
Can we stop calling them a national power? They have 11 national titles. Their last one was when we were seniors in high school, and that was in 1988.
Maybe you were. I wasn't quite born yet.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Their last national title was in 1988. Yeah. Almost, I don't know how many years. I can't do the public math right now. But let's stop calling them a national. 24. You know, I think we're seeing some interesting things with college football. In the NFL, there's 5 players that jump off the screen that 34, are amazing. 34. You referenced one of them: Mahomes, Herbert, Josh Allen,
Jefferson,
Micah Parsons, and the guy that's out for the year, probably T.J. Watt. Those guys are amazing. And last year, after week 2, when I said, would you rather have Herbert or Dak Prescott going forward, and I got feedback on this, people said I would take Dak.
No way.
Let me tell you this. I've been saying this for a decade now. The best, strongest part of that Cowboy organization was the offensive line the past 10 years, and they've aged out or got hurt. They had, 4 or 5 3-and-outs. They couldn't get a first down with Dak. He threw 4 or 5 balls that should have been picked, and I'm not saying their season's over because it's not overreaction Monday, but their season might be over. They have 2 great players on their team. One is Micah Parsons, and 2 is Martin, their guard. They have an average to bad roster, and I don't know what they're going to do. You almost want to bottom out and start over, but there is hope because their defense stood up. Tampa Bay, playing with 4 of 5 new starters on the offensive line, they're not going anywhere with that offensive line unless they, some of the guys come back, and we'll see how that plays out. Hey, Marcus Mariota, former Heisman Trophy winner, is it too much to ask not to fumble the ball inside the 5? and then fumble the ball on 3rd and 1 to end the game? Is that too much to ask?
Might be.
Can you just handle a snap and not fumble the ball and cost your team the game?
Might be.
Yeah, great weekend of sports. But let me tell you, those 5 guys I mentioned, they jump off the screen.
No doubt.
Great weekend of football. And you're right about the Chiefs, Jeff. But we'll see when they play a team that's functional and capable on offense, because I think their defense is still a sift. But Mahomes, that guy, next level, man.
No doubt.
Anyway,
all right.
Did you hear the opening segment on Jordan on Brady? I'm gonna send you that in quotations, but it was amazing.
All right, good to see you at the
Have a
Lobo
great day,
game the
guys.
other day, by the way. See you. There's a lot in there. Khalil Mack might end up in the situation he's in now. Could also be a difference maker. Bosa was terrific. What the Chargers have defensively, the Chargers are going to get all their love for Herbert. But what they did
The
defensively,
biggest addition was Khalil Mack. And they got a cornerback, J.C. Jackson, that is out with an ankle injury. They'll get him back to add to the secondary, and that's how you close out games. Is you have Joey Bosa, but now you're like, well, Khalil Mack had, 6 tackles, a sack, forced fumble, the pressures. That's how you close games. And we live in a fantasy football world. We love talking about wide receivers. No question, one of the 3 best moves of the offseason is Khalil Mack going to the Chargers.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk college football because Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us at 8 o'clock. I'm going to run you into the break with this. I want you to think of this. Monday Night Football tonight, Seattle hosts the Denver Broncos. JJ, if Seattle wins tonight, they are in first place in the NFC West, the only team that would have had a win. Take that into your break. We're going to get into that Alabama-Texas game, and I got a little different opinion on Steve Sarkisian and the Texas coach. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company. Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
5.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, Lobos lose on Friday, 31-14. Next up, the UTEP Miners will come in. Miners got by the Aggies down in El Paso on Saturday night, 20-13. If you want to get in on your thoughts on either the Aggies or the Lobos as well, you can. We'll talk to Danny coming up at the top of the hour. I thought Lobo offense really. I think their defense is good, JJ. I believe their defense is good.
Their defense is going to get them a couple games this year.
So they gave up basically 10 points in 3 quarters. It was 17, but one was a punt block for a touchdown. I thought their defense played well. I'm concerned about the offensive line, obviously.
And that's something we'll ask Danny Gonzalez coming up next segment. Is that more of, right now Boise State is just that much better than the Lobos up front, or an area of concern?
All right, let's go. Jeff, good morning to you. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, how are you doing?
Oh, that's speech.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. To me, I think the ref just kind of blew that call. Texas should have got a safety on it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that one. That one of all the plays that bothered me this week, and that was one of the biggest ones. They tackle him in the end zone. He throws the ball away.
Right.
There's some. That's a 2-point play. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
right. Now, let me ask you. I mean, I've heard about this in Major League Baseball, where like they'll protest the call, but I mean, I'm just asking, what good does a protest mean? Do you just get the satisfaction of
you can get a letter back
New
that
York
says,
or someone checking it out and saying they blew the call?
Yeah, you can get a letter back and say, "Oh, you're right. We screwed this up. Sorry, you still lose." You're not going back and replaying it. So, yeah.
Well, true. Okay. Well, thank you.
Thanks, man. Hello, Jess. How you living?
I'm there.
Yeah, I'll bet.
It's just week 1, Jeffrey.
That's right.
The week.
So I told myself Friday morning. That's what I told myself Friday morning. Yep.
Right. So here's the picture. Let me paint it for you. You're a rookie wide receiver Packers moved up in the second round to draft you. You're playing with one of the potential goats of the league. You get a go route on the first play of the game, and you drop a perfect pass. Like, your entire career can be written right there, right? Because now you're a legend. Now you can never make that up. And I'll tell you, I don't think he threw him the ball again till the fourth quarter.
Why would he?
He didn't get thrown out again till the fourth quarter. And I'm shocked. Shocked. So one of my major concerns, like you said, is the offensive line, except I'm not as concerned just because Jenkins and Bakhtiari are still out. As soon as one of those guys comes back, it really helps solidify that line because they don't have to slide people over from tackle, from guard to tackle, and it's really going to help. What shocked me the most with Green Bay was I felt that their offense was going to have a hard time. In the last three first games under Matt LaFleur, I believe they scored 10, 3, and 7. Last year it was the smoke show with the Saints. I think they lost 38-3 or 35-3. Got smoked. And Aaron Rodgers said in his press conference, compared to last year, how do you feel you played? We scored 4 more points. That's about it. So my major concern after having said that is the defense. I knew the offense was going to have a hard time probably gelling for the first couple weeks. The defense, that was unbelievable to me. When you have a top-tier cornerback like Jair Alexander, and then you have an up-and-coming cornerback like Eric Stokes, just focusing on Jair Alexander, when you have a lockdown guy like that I understand what they're trying to do with their defensive scheme, which is to go into this zone coverage with linebackers coming up, dropping back. You have to put that guy on Justin Jefferson the whole game.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the most successful cornerbacks have, that's how they made a living. Darrell Revis, not Thursday, but normally Jalen Ramsey. Those guys lock down one guy. You don't have to worry about him. They take or at least put him on one half of the field, right? Then he takes that left side. Eric Stokes. So maybe you need to change the defensive game plan to fit the players you're playing against. That was absolutely atrocious. And for that guy to be as wide open as he was is unbelievable to me. And at the end of the game, they asked Jair about that. He said, yeah, if it was me, of course I would want to be on that guy all day. They seem to be confused in why that coverage was the way it was. They got to fix that because that's the part of your team that's going to carry you on. It's not going to be the offense right now. That's going to take a while, but get it together because that is absolutely atrocious. Just terrible. And, it would make me feel a lot better if Green Bay had a better effort with the way Dallas played because that actually warmed my heart last night. I never wish bad on anybody, but Dak, whatever, dude. The unfortunate part is I was forced this year to draft Ezekiel Elliott in my league, but I will trade him. At any point, he is up for trade.
Be a Cowboy fan who wants him. Yep.
Yeah, but how about them Cowboys? But what a wonderful weekend of football. This is why we're addicts. This is why the way we are. This is why we call in the sports radio about the NFL, because of the result they give. Look at that. I mean, every game seemed to be great. That Steelers and Cleveland game, absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. All the games this weekend, the Giants.
All of them.
And look at something like that. When you have a winning mentality, and you talked about Lovie Smith and some of these other coaches, look what Daboll did. He said no. Look what the Giants have done for the last 10 years. They've been losers. There's only one way to change the loser mentality, and that's to win. And he put it on the line, and they did the job. Good for the Giants.
Yeah, thanks, Jess.
Gentlemen, have a great day.
See you. JD, good morning to you. Hello, JD. All right, let me do that again. Hello, JD.
Good morning. I thought I was going to be like Edward. I was like, what's going on?
No.
So I would have put San Francisco on your 3 top losers because I think that was a atrocious loss to an inept team.
They were close.
And then the Cowboys, I think Dak was hurt going into the game because he didn't look good the whole game. He just didn't look good at all. And I think it's his right leg caused him problems. When he missed Noah Brown towards the end of the game, Noah Brown was wide open. If you look at it, he grimaced as he came off that right leg. So I think there was more going on there than just his hand. I think he was hurt going in. And then, yeah, we went to the Lobo game last Friday. And my goodness, they're so much better everywhere, Jeff.
100%.
But offensively, yeah, they're still a little bit inept, and that was a concern. And I was a little bit disappointed because if they had one score in that first half, one score, it would have been a much different game, I think. I think at the end, the defense just got tired and Boise State just kind of ran through them at the end and put some points on them.
Yeah,
But,
JD, even if they make the field goal going 10-3, I feel better about it.
oh, yeah. I mean, they've got hope, right?
Yeah.
But much improved. I mean, the size is there, the speed is there, the mentality's there. So I think Danny's done a great job. And, we'll continue to go to the games to support them. But I just wish they could really get some answers on offense. So, thanks, guys.
All right, man. Thank you. Well, we're going to talk to their head coach coming up next. Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us. You and I both, I sat with you at the game. We both believe. I mean, the eye test tells you they're better, right? They played one of the better teams in the league. They got beat by what the spread told you they were going to get beat by, right?
Yeah.
They are better. They didn't win Friday night. They are better. Danny Gonzalez is the head coach for Lobo football. He's going to be with us next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all.
Those of you who were there know it. It was a good, fun, festive feel in the tailgate area. The people who showed up, I thought, were into the game. And I don't think it's arguable that this Lobo football team has improved. They didn't beat Boise State on Friday night. 31-14 was the final, 10-0 at halftime. But I think your eye test and everything you watch made you realize that they did compete, and this team is making improvement every week. And it's encouraging. Conversation with Danny Gonzalez is sponsored by the law offices of Rudy Chavez. If you need legal help and someone who really cares, call Rudy at 505-242-5500 today. Make your legal problems go away. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. Joining the show now is the head football coach at the University of New Mexico, Danny Gonzalez. Good morning, Danny. Happy Monday. How you living?
Good morning, guys. We're living good, and we're preparing to get ready to play UTEP on Saturday night. Another great opportunity to go out there and compete. Obviously, we didn't get the result we wanted on Friday night. I thought it was a great college football game for about 3.5 quarters. I think both teams had a very similar game plan. It was to run the ball and take deep shots, and in the first half, they connected on 2 of theirs that led to scores. And we threw our first one. Jordan catches it, but he's a yard out of bounds. And then Austin doesn't come up with the second one. The game started with both possessions were 3 and out for each team. And then we got the first down. We get the ball around midfield. And we made too many mistakes. I mean, there's some opportunities on both sides of the ball that we didn't capitalize on. And when they blocked that punt in the third quarter, I thought it changed the whole dynamic of the football game.
Yep. I think your defense is really good. Obviously, you've got to figure some things out offensively. JJ and I were talking. I think your defense is going to win you some games. When you looked at the tape, tell me what you saw, because I saw at times, certainly you've got issues with the line, but I thought there was times where Miles had time and there wasn't anybody to throw to. I thought, especially in the first half, your receivers were having problems getting separation, getting open. Is that fair?
You know, in the first quarter, we actually got open quite a bit, but our right tackle, where we lost DJ Wingfield and filling in for him, we weren't getting any protection right there. I mean, that was a big struggle. Now, we ended up going with Tavian Ford later on, which produced some more opportunities. But then from the second and third quarter, I thought they covered us really well. I mean, we've got to be able to get open. The first one that Jordan caught on the deep sideline over there, but he was out of bounds. Yeah. If Miles could have stepped into that throw, Jordan was 10 yards behind the DBs, and it would have been a 7-0 lead for the Lobos. So those are the kind of opportunities that we need to capitalize on. I thought a big play was when we went forward after they scored their touchdown, and we had a 4th and 1 on the 40-yard line. We have an assignment there. I mean, our right tackle is supposed to block down, and if he blocks down, it's going to be Nate and the free safety one-on-one for either a 40-yard touchdown, or it's going to surely be a first down. But we don't, and they jump in the backfield and make a tackle for loss. I mean, little things like that change the dynamic of the game, but those are things that we can correct as we continue to move forward.
You know, Danny, when you look at this game and the Boise State defensive line, was it just a moment of them in that moment being better than you up front, and when it comes to being able to establish a run moving forward?
Well, you know, I gave a lot of credit to 99. I'll use numbers that names because that's how most people use them. But he caused us a little bit of trouble inside. It was 44, their left defensive end, that was really causing the most trouble early on. And they're good players. I mean, they were better than us at that moment. I would love to have the opportunity to play them again now that our kids. I mean, it was a great opportunity that we were excited to play, and I think we were a little bit outmatched at the beginning. I thought we started to get a stalemate there between the second and third quarter, and then when they blocked that punt, I mean, that's the most disappointing thing to me was I thought we lost the wind in our sails. I mean, Boise had 318 yards of total offense. 96 of them were on the final 14 plays of the game, including 14 points. And so you can't do that. I mean, it doesn't matter what the situation is. At 17-0, you still have a chance to win the football game if you can either create turnover, score on special teams, or fix some of the things that we're doing wrong on offense. So, I mean, there's a lot of upside after that football game. You lose 31-14, there shouldn't be that. There's no moral victories, but there's things that we can correct and become a lot better football team.
And Dan, you mentioned special teams, and Aaron Rodriguez was so good at flipping the field through that game. What happened on that punt block that changed things as opposed to some of the other moments?
Well, a big key play right before that punt block, we took a sack on an offensive lineman inside makes an assignment error and covers the wrong gap, so they get pressure up the middle and they sack us. And we're going to, instead of punting from our 20-yard line, we end up get back all the way up to the 3-yard line. And they felt that they got pressure on the previous one, so we were going to roll out to help with the coverage. And we whiff on our middle shield, and Aaron didn't quite have the urgency he should have had. So, I mean, that's ridiculous to get 2 years in a row, get a punt blocked, especially for a touchdown. And like I said earlier, I mean, I thought it changed the dynamic of the game because it was 10-0 at that point. We had already had 2 3-and-outs to start the third quarter on defense, and it was an opportunity for him. I thought Aaron and the punt team did a great job the rest of the day. Their coverage was really good. You said it. They flipped the field. They really changed the dynamic of that. But you can't play really, really good and make one mistake. I mean, the football game usually comes down to 5 or 6 plays, and that was one of the major ones.
Lobo football coach Danny Gonzalez is with us on the opening drive. I'm going to ask you a way oversimplified question, but I've been asked this probably all weekend. And it's what do you do to improve on the offensive side, right? People have been saying to me, gosh, the defense look good, but can we score points? And so I guess for a layman who's watching football, is it as simple as fixing the offensive line, or what is it for you? Because moving forward, obviously, you got to score points.
Well, I mean, it's funny. The people that are listening, that are in tuned and into it, they're going to hear some of these comments and be like, wow, that guy's insane. But we're not that far away offensive line-wise. I mean, we made some mistakes on Friday that really hurt us, and then at times we just got beat one-on-one, which that happens throughout the entire game. I mean, we got beat on defense on 2 long pass plays that the rest of the night we made those plays. So there's some very correctable mistakes. The thing that gives me promise from this time last year to where we're at right now is the guys that are making those mistakes are big enough, strong enough, and athletic enough to improve and keep going. Now, we also have to do a lot better at the wide receiver position on winning our one-on-ones. We took 17 deep shots on Saturday night. I mean, we threw the ball beyond 25 yards 17 times, and we only connected on 2 of them. 2 others, we had a really good opportunity. Austin doesn't go up and get 1 ball. And then Jordan, I thought the DB did a really nice job on our sideline coming down this way. Now, if we connect on 3 or 4 of those, all of a sudden you have a little bit more room closer to the box. And so we're not as far away as it might seem after that football game on Friday night. Now, we have to improve. We have to be, know what to do and how to do it is the most important thing. A 4th and 1, you can't make that kind of a mistake in a close football game and expect to win. And so I'm very optimistic about our offensive line and where we're going. I thought there was a lot of good things in the first game. Obviously, we play a lot better opponent. We can't make mistakes that we made. And the best part is we get to practice tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and we get to go out and compete again on Saturday night and see us get better.
All right, here comes a UTEP team that I think we probably all watched on Saturday night against New Mexico State, 20-13. They probably, of the 2 teams you played before this is the 3rd week of the season, probably the team that is most equal to you, most looks like you. Is that fair as far as a test of, all right, what are we really going to look like the rest of the season? Because here comes a team that struggled on offense against New Mexico State this week, but looked pretty good defensively.
I think Coach Dimmel's done a great job down there in his time because where UTEP came from and where they're at right now, I mean, they were a 7-win bowl team last year that played here in the New Mexico Bowl against a really good Fresno State team in a great football game. They were very competitive early on against Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma wore them down, and if you watch that tape, Oklahoma's got some unbelievable speed, and Brent Venables is doing some really good things there. And then I thought they got a little complacent on Saturday night. They get up 20-3 and give New Mexico State credit, and I know how hard that is for me to say, but Coach Kill's doing a great job and has those kids flying around. They're playing hard, and Diego came in and did a great job in the second half and got them to where they have an opportunity to throw the ball in the end zone, and UTEP makes them play great play on defense. I thought both those defenses played really good. Gavin Hardison, Hobbs, New Mexico kid, is a really good player. And I think your sentiment of UTEP being very equal talent-wise and all those things with us, I think that's great. And I think UTEP's very equal talent-wise with a lot of schools in our league that we're going to continue to play as we go forward. So I think that's a really good barometer of where we're at as a program, the opportunity to play. They got after us in the second half last year, so there won't be anything that our kids look past. I mean, they're excited to have a chance to have UTEP back here. I think this is a great rivalry. I mean, the overall series is 43 wins for New Mexico, 33 wins for UTEP, and 3 ties. We're within 4 hours of each other, so I think it's a great game that should be played a ton. And I'm glad that in my time here so far, we've played it. This will be the second time. We're going to continue to work to keep them on the schedule. But it's a great opportunity.
Now, Danny, a couple more things when it comes to special team. Just this field goal kicking. What are your thoughts there? Missed the opportunity to make it a 10-3 game going into half. And then Christian Washington talked a lot about his playmaking ability, but that late return, a big-time return, what can that mean for kick returns, maybe even him getting the football more?
Well, I thought our special teams were really good. The guys that were blocking and doing all those things, the tackling on the punt team was really, really good. Aaron had all but one kick that was really, really good. The field goal issue has been an issue the past couple of years. George had an opportunity to make it a 10-3 game, like you said, and I think at 10-0 at halftime, that was exactly the kind of football game that we had told our kids it was going to be. If we make the play where we throw the deep shot and it's 10-7, or if we make the field goal and it's 10-3, we have a little bit more minimum coming into the half. Now, kickers, this is how I view them, and I got this from Dennis Franchione, which I think is a great analogy. Those guys need to be erasers for mistakes of other guys on your football team. Obviously, we're out there kicking a field goal because we didn't get a first down. Either somebody missed a block, dropped the pass, threw it incomplete, something. So they need to come out there and erase the mistakes. When you punt the ball, it's the same thing. We didn't get a first down. We're giving it back to them. Aaron needs to erase the mistake of the offense and give the defense a chance. And we did not do that on Saturday night. I mean, we missed an extra point against Maine. We missed that field goal on Saturday night. So Luke Drzwicki came in for the remaining 2 extra points, hit him pretty clean. We're going to give Luke a shot going forward right now. I mean, George has a really strong leg and will continue to be our kickoff guy. If we get into some really deep field goal situations, he'll have an opportunity. But we're going to go with Luke right now and see if we can shore that up, because I think it's a very vital point when you're going to play in a bunch of close football games.
All right, where are we health-wise? I know you said after the game DJ is out so you lose your tackle for the rest of the season, which I think most of us learned that after the game. Talk about that a little bit and any other injuries that we've got coming out of this game.
Here's a great sign of progress in our program. We did find out about DJ early Friday morning that he did have a torn ACL, and DJ Wingfield, who was our starting right tackle for the main game and is going to be a really good player. I mean, we'll get him a surgery here in a couple of weeks once the swelling goes down. We'll get him back for the next 2 years. We moved Tavian Ford over to right tackle. Usually after you play a very physical football game and you lose, the next morning you come in and the injury report is really long. Guys have a little bit more. I mean, they feel a little bit sorry for themselves, and they've got bigger issues. We've got your typical bumps and bruises that you have after a football game. It was very similar to what it looked like after the main game, and that was a very, very physical football game on Friday night. I mean, I thought both teams played really, really hard. Give Boise State credit. They like I said, we had similar game plans, and they were able to execute it from their experience and things going forward. I had a great conversation with Andy after the game, but I enjoyed watching both teams beat each other up. And the injury report wasn't significantly longer. It was very similar to Maine. So that's progress within our program because, one, they're not feeling sorry for themselves. They played a really physical football game, and they showed up yesterday ready to work to get ready to play UTEP. So we didn't lose anybody that we won't have for this week. We've got our typical bumps and bruises that you have through the football season, so that's a positive.
Now, Danny, you said on Saturday that your team expected to win this football game. What does it mean to you that they're getting to that point going into games?
No, I thought that was huge. I thought it was huge. I mean, I've been around a lot of football teams that in the pregame, after you warm up and you go downstairs and you go to the locker room, you hear them hooting and hollering and beating their chest about, I'm here, I'm ready to play. When they do all those things, they're trying to convince themselves that they're good enough, or they're trying to convince themselves that they belong on this field. There was none of that on Saturday night or Friday night, which was really positive. I mean, it was very similar to the very first week. It was, we have a job to do. They were excited to play. I thought they came out really on both sides of the ball. We came out with a great fire. We were physical on both sides of the ball. Like I said, it was 4 possessions of 3 and out by both teams before we got a first down for the first down of the game. That is progress within our program that I see that it's something that you evaluate it as a coach and you see the the confidence in your guys. I mean, they expected to win that football game. At 10-0 at halftime, our kids there was no overreaction of like, this is the kind of game it was intended to be. We need to make a couple more plays. Did it come down to they had made 2 long balls that we didn't? And we need to make those plays if we want to win games against the upper echelon of our league. And we're getting closer. And I know that's the worst thing to hear is because I hate as a fan and as somebody outside of me, yeah, close is great. I mean, second place is the first loser. I mean, that's where we're climbing to. And we need to get to where we can make those plays in this game so that in the fourth quarter it's not 17-0 and we're losing to win in our sales. It's 10-0, it's 10-7, it's 10-3, and you have a chance to win in the last 2 possessions. So we're making strides, but we still have a ways to go.
UTEP's in University Stadium. Another opportunity Saturday night, 6 o'clock. Miners will be here, and hopefully people come out and enjoy that. Should be another beautiful evening. Danny, always appreciate the conversation and the time. We'll see you out there tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you for all you do. Go Lobos.
Be well. Danny Gonzalez, the head football coach at the University of New Mexico. Conversation has been sponsored by the law offices of Rudy Chavez. Personal care for your legal issues. Call Rudy at 505-242-5500 today. Make your legal problems go away. There was a lot in there. I got thoughts on that game. I know you do too. What Danny had to say, getting closer. Is that good for you? How you feeling about that? And did you see it? Because I think you should have. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell is the place for breakfast. Why? Because of the bacon breakfast quesadilla.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Now, Danny tells you that they're a lot closer than maybe we think on offense. And I'm going to believe the head coach. But obviously you want to see it. And this is the week, right? You want to see some points on the board against UTEP. JJ, I think they're a good defense. I don't think they're just they're decent. I think that's a really good defense. They gave up 24 points defensively to a Boise State team that's, I think, pretty good. 7 points came on a block punt, right? 10 points at halftime. I thought they played – I think they're a good defensive team. Now, can they get to decent offensively and they can win some football games?
So the expectations I had for Lobo football were to compete.
And they did.
And they did just that. 10-0 at half. Opportunities. Boise State still ways ahead of this Lobo football team. But I cannot tell you, Jeff, thinking back in my mind, where I have been this convinced or this confident that Saturday I'm expecting the Lobos to win that football game.
Against UTEP.
Against UTEP.
And that was watching the Lobos play, and then you watched the UTEP New Mexico State game the other night.
Yes.
Okay. UTEP, I think, is stout defensively. They've got a veteran quarterback. They're trying to figure out who their playmakers are, although I think they got a couple of good running backs. Gay Watt's good. I think that, and Hardison's a veteran. Now, can you get to him? Can that defensive front get to him? I think what New Mexico is going to do well is get to the quarterback. And now UTEP runs the ball. UTEP is a pound football team. What are you going to do on first down to force them into throwing the football? I don't know that I've seen an early spread yet. Maybe there is one. I haven't seen it. But I'm going to guess that the Lobos will be dogs on this. But so you expect them to win this football game?
Yes. There's nothing I see out of UTEP. They were in a bowl game last year. Maybe they're a little bit ahead in overall roster depth. The Lobos at home playing defense like that should beat UTEP.
Okay. That is, it's interesting. And there's some spreads out. I'm just looking.
I think UTEP might be a little bit more focused. Danny was right. Watching that game in the second half, like UTEP just started taking deep shots. And like, are you trying to win this game? Or are you just out there going, whatever, we're going to connect on one of these? There was not a consistent offense. They got really lackadaisical late, letting New Mexico State back in that game.
Aggies covered. I'm just saying. Does it mean anything to you? Aggies covered. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. The other thing is they come out relatively unscathed. Now, losing DJ Wingfield is a big – look, you lose a starting tackle. I mean, I don't care who you are, right? You lose a starting tackle, it's a problem, especially for this team. That's a problem. But how do they fix that? Looking at spreads for next week. New Mexico. What do you think New Mexico State's spread is at Wisconsin?
At Wisconsin?
At Wisconsin.
28.
37.5. So they're 37.5-point dogs. Give me the 8 o'clock games here. All right. So Lobos are 5. Well, I see it anywhere between 3. Opened at 5.5, bet down to 3 already. Opened at 5.5, bet down to 3. So that means that all the early money came in on New Mexico. It's interesting, JJ. What do you think the spread would have been?
In that range.
Okay. So Lobos are right now 3-point dogs at home. All right, you can respond to that. Aggie fan, want to hear from you as well. You played UTEP tough. Go on the road and fight all the way back. Diego Pavia comes off the bench and rallies the troops. He scores 2 touchdowns. Does the quarterback from Albuquerque through New Mexico Military Institute, came off the bench, scored 2 touchdowns with his legs and had the Aggies driving, but it was the UTEP defense that shut them down late in UTEP territory. That was an interesting ending, man. There were a lot of fun endings, but that was an interesting ending as well. Aggies fall to 0-3. Jerry Kill's going to be with us tomorrow. We'll talk about that game. All right, if you want to get in on the Lobo game, you can. UTEP's coming in this week. I want to get through the Mountain West. We'll get back into the NFL as well. I've got a bunch of thoughts on college football. I want to talk about the Alabama-Texas game. I've got some thoughts on Sarkisian. Edward called in earlier and thought that he had loser's mentality. Kind of got a different thought on that Texas game against Alabama where they lose by 1 point. BYU, Baylor was great. There were so many great ones, and we'll get through the Mountain West. So that's coming up next. We're going to run through Saturday's college football. Open for you in the NFL as well because, boy, was it great. Boy, was it a great week number 1 of the National Football League. Hey, are you living with chronic pain and tired of it? If you're living with chronic pain, I know you're tired of it. Knee pain, joint pain, back pain. Listen carefully. There are now new regenerative treatments available here in Albuquerque. It's at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. They're open, giving lasting relief to people with joint pain. They use the latest in precision medicine with natural biologics. What does this mean? So this is an exciting non-surgical approach. Let me emphasize non-surgical. And it restores and repairs damaged tissue in your joints and gets you moving again. QC Kinetics has over 100 clinics nationwide. They've treated thousands of patients and have an incredible success rate and satisfaction rate. So if you've been told the only way is the old way, that you have to have this shot or you have to have drugs or you must have surgery, take advantage of this free consultation. It's essentially a free second opinion. You got pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, back, you got to check this out. They can actually help your body restore and repair itself with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery. Call now. Schedule your free consultation with the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. 505-226-8688. 505-226-8688. That's QC Kinetics. 505-226-8688.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company. Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service.
Had a rough weekend for the Mountain West. Boise State did win at New Mexico, a league game. And Air Force got the signature win so far this season, although Colorado's not very good. But, JJ, would you say it's the best win of the season for the Mountain West? Beating Colorado, Air Force beat them 41-10.
That's what you do to a not very good team.
Yeah.
Beat them 41-10.
Pumped them. They pumped a Pac-12 team. UNLV had an opportunity. Cal beats UNLV 20-14. And then Wyoming won against an FCS team. They beat Northern Colorado 33-10. Meanwhile, Hawaii expected, actually closer than expected, I'll tell you that, got beat by Michigan 56-10. Middle Tennessee, the team, and I think Middle Tennessee is a nice program, but man, James Madison blew them out the week before. They go to Fort Collins and beat Colorado State 34-19. Beat the Rams up. In fact, it was 27-0 at halftime.
You're looking at that, and how did Colorado State close as 13.5-point favorites in that game?
Well, because everybody looked at the middle score from the week before and didn't realize James Madison might be pretty good. So that was a tough loss.
Did anyone look at Colorado State and realize that
they got run out of Michigan?
It's not just Michigan; they're not very good right now.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And here's where it got really rough. Nevada at home gave up 55. Now, Incarnate Word is the 8th-ranked team in FCS, but they put up 55 in Reno. Incarnate Word 55, Nevada 41. I mean, they ran up and down the field on them. You think that was rough? Utah State, the defending champions in the Mountain West, got beat by Weber State at home 35-7. JJ, that's there's some scores on here this week. Logan Bonner threw for 120 yards against Weber State, who came in and put up 400 yards of offense on that Aggie defense and dominated. Absolutely dominated Utah State. Another game I looked at and I'm like, what's going on?
It was a disaster. And then you look and somehow, someway, San Jose State's competing at Auburn.
Yeah, yeah. And that, remember last week I told you, why is that spread so close? That's why I don't bet. Auburn beat them 24-16, so San Jose State competed but got beat. San Diego State beat Idaho State 38-7. Jordan Byrd had 2 touchdowns in that game, one on special teams and one on offense. Actually, that young man can ball. He's just so genuinely fast. 4 carries, 58 yards for Jordan Byrd, the kid from Manzano High School, who just had a terrific week. And then last second touchdown, Oregon State scores in the last play of the game and wins in Fresno 35-32. Rough weekend for the league.
It's been a rough 2 weeks for the Mountain West Conference.
Yeah.
It is the Sun Belt, and everyone else has a long way to go to catch them this season in the Group of 5.
Even the American.
Yep.
All right, David sent me an email. It says on Liberal Football, it says Coach Gonzalez has been drinking too much of his Kool-Aid. 125 yards of offense with 60 yards coming on one play when the game was already over is not getting better or getting closer. Everything he said was if this or if that. Boise isn't even the best team in the division. That would be Air Force. I believe that's that part. I believe Air Force is the best team in that division. Offensively, they're struggling. Like, David, you're not wrong. Offensively, they struggle. Now, this will be a week that'll tell you a lot. I don't know how you look at it defensively and don't think they're better. They competed with that team. They did. I know what the score said. I know it was 31-17 or 31-14. They did compete with Boise State, and they got blued out the last couple of years, right? So they are getting better. That team didn't belong on the same field as Boise State the past 2 years. I would tell you that they belonged on the field with them last Friday night. Do you disagree with that?
No.
Now, they couldn't beat them. Boise State's still better. But they are getting better. They got to score points. So, David, I mean, offensively, yeah, it's a concern. If we come out of here this week and we're talking about they scored 6 points, 10 points this week, then yeah, because then they're going to LSU. But I do believe that they're getting better. James says, did we learn anything from Friday night, Jeffers? Boise State didn't blow my socks off. I'm not ready to proclaim the BCS bust and blue is back. And did you see anything from Lobo football that makes you want to head back to Dream Style against UTEP? I'm not sure we know any more about these clubs than before the game.
The defense.
Yeah, I'll be there. James, you'll probably be watching my broadcast then. Sounds like. What did you see that makes you not want to go back, I guess, James?
And this is the thing. Boise State's not, top 15 Boise State right now, so you can't give credit to the Lobo defense. That's a lot of people's thoughts
That's where
coming
you
out of the
come
game.
in, right? Right. No, it's never good enough. Yeah.
The fact that New Mexico State rushed for 187 yards, and I'm not worried about the Lobos rushing the football in UTEP.
All right, let me give you some other thoughts on college football over the weekend. Edward called in and he says, Sarkisian's getting paid $6.2 million. And it's a loser mentality to say. What did he say after the game?
We ran out of time. John Wooden quote.
Yeah, we didn't get beat. We ran out of time. So where was that program last year? What was the spread? 28-21? They lose the game by a point. Every analyst I watched told me this game wasn't going to be close, that Alabama was going to go in and beat the living tar out of them. If you watched Texas the other day, and I did, and don't think that they got way better, that Sarkisian isn't doing a hell of a job, I'm not sure what you're watching. In fact, now, give it to Bryce Young in Alabama going down the field when they had to. I mean, that was a hell of a drive by the guy who won the Heisman Trophy last year for Alabama. But I thought the call in the end zone where Bryce Young was dropped and threw it out of bounds, there was no grounding, no safety. Like, they got hosed on that one. And that makes it a different game because you have those 2 points to it, and that one drive doesn't do it. Texas was in that game. I think Sarkisian's done a hell of a job in 1 year now plus at Texas, turning that culture around. When he got there, and even last year, Texas doesn't compete with Alabama, do they?
No, they don't.
I don't know. I mean, what's your take on Sarkisian? Because to me, holy smokes, he surprised
I don't
the hell
feel
out
bad
of me.
about Sark after that game.
Hell no.
I do not feel bad about Sark. They did that against Alabama with their second-string quarterback.
With their, by the way, their second-string quarterback.
And their second-string quarterback could be better than most quarterbacks.
Whatever.
Other places. He was thrown in there against an Alabama defense that got frustrated and wasn't playing well. Will Anderson, their supposed top 10 pick, had a bad day, and that was because of what Texas was doing. And they missed plays. You can yell at Sark all you want, but he even said in his call, we all saw it, the missed sack. But that was Bryce Young pocket awareness 1,000, ducking through it.
Yeah.
He was money in the fourth quarter. It's not a stat line that's going to blow you away, but that is why he is one of the two best quarterbacks in college football this season, of how effective he was in that fourth quarter.
Well, I mean, and he was so calm and so SoCal cool. You know what I mean?
Oh, and then that touchdown,
Yeah.
where he's rolling out to his left,
And then
flips
turns his hips and
Boom.
fires across his body, right on the money. No, he was great. Now, I mean, they blitzed the corner. They had him dead to rights. That was, to me, the biggest play of the game. Tackle the man, but he got away from it. I've got a totally different opinion than Edward does on Texas. I think Texas, they lost the game and there's no moral victories. But if you watch them, if you're a Texas fan, and I know some of you are, how you're not feeling better about that, I don't know. Big win by Texas Tech to beat Houston. That's going to be a future conference game, but I thought that was gutsy. BYU in overtime beating Baylor puts BYU into the picture. Washington State going to Wisconsin. Pac-12 needed something, didn't they? They got a big win on the road. Washington State, that was a game that was a throwaway, right? They were going to get run out of that building. Huge.
It's the worst loss for the Big Ten.
That one is?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe it's a good win by Washington State too, but that was pretty good. All right, Sherman. Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, let me start out by saying a loss is a loss is a loss. But having said that, we saw a team that's truly greatly improved. For me, the game was about long passes. They connected on 4 long passes, and we did not connect on 3 long passes. And that essentially was the game. How did you see it?
Yeah, I thought your defense played well. I thought they got beat. The 2 long passes in the first half were critical. I thought the defense, for the most part, played really, really, really well. I'm concerned, Sherman, about the offense, and they've got to be able to move. Well, quarterback's going to have
Their
time.
quarterback, yeah, he placed the ball very carefully and succinctly in the receiver's hands, and our quarterback was off by a few feet on those long passes.
Yeah, missed on a few chances. I think you get a real barometer this week to see where you are. So.
Yeah, I agree, and it is interesting because for UTEP, I think the win over the Aggies was a really big deal. They seemed to celebrate it like it was a win over LSU or something.
Because they were 0-2 and they won a rivalry game and they damn near got beat. So it was they needed that one. Sherman, appreciate you. Thanks for the call.
Likewise.
See you.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah, the UTEP did celebrate. It's a rivalry game, and by the way, when you're 0-2, you need a win. You're 0-2, and you think you go back to a bowl game. You just went to a bowl game. Yeah, don't you think that was a big win for UTEP? Confidence-wise, they needed that. That's not a bad program. That's not a bad team. I'm not telling you they're great, but they got beat by North Texas. They got beat by Oklahoma. They needed that one. The Aggies damn near came back at the end and made something happen. Do you think Jerry Kill would have gone for 2? If the Aggies would have scored on the last drive, would he have gone for 2? Last one tomorrow.
Because they missed an extra point.
Yeah, they did miss an extra point. They did. 505-246-0610. All right, we're going back to the NFL when we come back. Cowboys lose Dak. I'll give you, if you missed it earlier, I'll give you my top 3 winners and top 3 losers from the weekend. I want to talk about that Chiefs game. I thought the Vikings were terrific. Raider fan, where are you? How are you coming out of that one? You had a chance. The Chargers put you down. That's a big division loss in week 1. So you can get into all of that. International Protective Service watches my home. IPS. I know you've seen their vehicles. They're all around. Do you ever wonder who they are? IPS is a private security company that is watching, protecting businesses and residences all over our area. IPS started back in 2006 because Aaron Jones, who started the company, wanted to provide security for homeowners and business owners in Fort Hills. And 16 years later, people all over Albuquerque trust IPS to protect what they've worked so hard to build. Because Aaron's from here, he's passionate about making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work by watching your home, watching your business with highly trained armed guards and 24-hour patrols. They have been essential for me and my family. They come by twice a day. We see them all the time. When we go out of town, they pick up packages that are left on the porch. They'll roll out the garbage cans on garbage day. Alarm goes off. They're there within 5 to 7 minutes. And things happen, like the garage door was left open one night. Well, they stood there and waited in front of the house, made sure nobody broke in until somebody came down and closed the garage door. Appreciate them, and you will too. Protect what's important to you. You've worked too hard to have some bad guys come in and take it away from you. Call IPS, see what they can do for you at 505-242. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. That's 505-897-2420. Or go to ipsglobal.com.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company. Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
All right, you guys want to know, Gopher says, is Lobo football better, Jeff, or has Brian Harsin and Boise State and the rest of the Mountain West just come back to them? Brian Harsin's at Auburn, where the Mountain West almost caught them this weekend. Maybe Boise State's come back a bit. Look, Boise State has not been the dominant team in this league for a long time. Can we be very clear about that? San Diego State, Fresno State, Air Force, Colorado State one year. They've all, Utah State last year, they've all had their runs. It's not like Boise State. The only people who think Boise State has just dominated this league are Boise State fans. Am I wrong with this?
With that being said, they still have 3 10-plus win seasons in Las Vegas.
They're good. I'm not telling you they're not good.
So here's the thing.
So does San Diego State, I think.
They've taken a little bit of a step back when they're just being 7-5 last year. But the Lobos defense has taken a huge step forward.
Can't they both be true?
They can.
Yeah.
Because look at defensively, tells you everything you know. It's not just all the Lobos are bad. That's still a really good defensive front that made the Lobos look like they didn't know what offense was.
Yeah, and look, there's a few people around here who just, nothing, to your point, nothing the Lobos do is going to be okay enough. If they had to beat that team's not very good. They played with them. Well, they're not a great Boise State team. Maybe your team is getting better. Maybe your team's a little bit better. Hey, Mud, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, I went to that game on Friday night, man. It was pretty cool, man. I know there wasn't that much. I know that they wanted to pack the place, but 16,000, 17,000 was pretty cool, man. I did see the Lobos. The defense was really good up until like the third quarter. But I think the offense just needs to work a little bit better. The defense, they're going to compete with a lot of teams this year. Boise State is a good team, but they're not the best team in the Mountain West. I think Air Force is right now. That could change later on in the year. They look tough, man. I mean, Boise State's a good team. I think they'll probably be a bowl team this year, but we'll see. The Lobos, on the other hand, I think if they can get their offense right, the offensive line, if they can open up some holes for that Christian Washington. And I really like that guy, man. He's my tocayo, man. Christian. That's my first name, man, Christian. So I really enjoyed that dude, man. But other than that, a loss is a loss. But I think the Lobos will bounce back against UTEP. And I think they'll win those games that, in years past where they lose by a couple of points.
Well, you look around now, right?
Those games, man. And we'll see what happens. I picked the Lobos to beat LSU, though, for real.
Okay. All right, Mud. You called it first. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
You look around, all of a sudden, when we sat here at the beginning of the year, well, Utah State, they're not going to be able to beat. Well, really? Is Utah State unbeatable? Is Colorado State unbeatable?
No.
Is Wyoming not touchable? Is San Diego State unbeatable? I don't know if they can be. Fresno State's going to be a tough
There's
one.
five.
I think San Diego State and Air Force are going to be tough. And LSU. Yeah, they can't. I mean, those are the games where I'm like.
So Utah State, if you want to throw them in there as a giant question mark after what you saw against Weber State.
How do you not?
There's 6 games, including UTEP, that it's not, oh my goodness, how?
You're saying UTEP, New Mexico State, Colorado State, UNLV, Wyoming, and Utah State.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. 505-246-0610. Going to reset the NFL when we return. Your correspondence is coming in. Stephanie's producing on the radio side. Adrian on the visual medium side on ProView Networks. Thank you so much for being with us. A 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company. Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sound of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Bond.
Cowboys lose their quarterback and lose the game. Steelers lose their defensive player of the year but win the game. Chiefs lost nothing and didn't lose a step and roll Arizona. Raiders lose a divisional game to the Chargers, and Broncos go tonight on Monday Night Football against Seattle. What is good? Oh, so much. How'd your fantasy? No, never mind. I don't want to know how your fantasy team did. You don't want to know how mine did. I don't want. That's how that works. NFL Sunday, the college football Saturday. This was one of the. God, I don't want to get lost in the hyperbole and the recency bias, JJ, but everywhere I turned this weekend, and I put miles on the couch this weekend. Got up early on Saturday. We had a big cross country meet, the UNM invite. I saw Coach Franklin out there. UNM hosted. There were over 1,000, well over 1,000 runners, JJ. They did a public race and then the high school races, and 24 teams high school wise, and just a huge, great meet over at UNM North. Did that, and I started riding the couch midday, and every game I put on was amazing. I think I texted you at one point, I couldn't keep my eyes off of Georgia Southern against Nebraska. Like, that was amazing to me. I couldn't stop watching App State versus Texas A&M, or Texas versus Alabama, or Marshall Notre Dame. Like, everywhere I went, and then Sunday was the same way.
It was amazing, and from that, you get your winners, and you get your losers.
So, NFL weekend. And I'll give you my three biggest winners of the weekend. And I'm telling you that my three biggest winners, number one was the first-time head coaches, Kevin O'Connell and Brian Dable and Dennis Allen and
Matt Eberflus.
Matt Eberflus and, did I say Brian Dable?
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel. So you had 5 first-time head coaches win. McDaniels beats Bill Belichick with the Dolphins.
Well, I guess if you're going to say Dennis Allen,
yeah,
then you got to say Todd Bowles.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
Well,
I don't.
they had both been head coaches before, but the first game with the
I like it just kind of focusing on the first.
That's where I was the first time through, right? I mean, Mike McDaniels and Brian Dable and Kevin O'Connell. The Vikings beat the Packers and beat them convincingly. The Giants beat Tennessee, the number 1 seed last year in the AFC, and do it with the guts to go for a 2-point conversion with Daniel Jones at the end and win that. And then the Dolphins beating Bill Belichick. I mean, that don't underestimate that. Tua is 4-0 against Bill Belichick. Did you know that? Tua Tagovailoa is 4-0 against Bill Belichick. So that's my number 1 winner of the week in the NFL. My number 2 is the Giants. And not just because they win, but for me, it's because they won and they got 196 yards of offense from Saquon Barkley, who looked like that Saquon Barkley you saw, it feels like a decade ago, and it wasn't. It was 3 years ago. But he's been hurt for 2 full seasons. Remember how good Saquon was when he came out of Penn State? Remember how dominant he was, and he was a guy like you'd never seen? I dare say Saquon Barkley looked like Saquon Barkley yesterday.
Absolutely. Explosive. The speed, running away from people, receiving game, fantastic.
They've got a decent enough defense, and they've got, I would argue with you, the best offensive weapon in that division. The Eagles have anything better? A.J. Brown's good. Jalen Hurts is nice. But the single best offensive weapon in that division, I think, is Saquon. And I think they've got a decent enough defense where, I'm not telling you they're going to win, but because nobody is dominant in the NFC East, the Cowboys are hurt now at quarterback and on the offensive line, Giants have a fighter's chance. You think that's ridiculous?
No, it's the NFC East.
That's right. Number 3 winner was Pittsburgh, even though they lose J.T. Watt to the pectoral injury, opening up the post-Ben Roethlisberger era with a victory against the defending AFC champions, the way they won, blocking an extra point, sacking Joe Burrow 7 times, turning him over 5 times, and getting enough out of Mitchell Trubisky. Now, they're coming out incredibly injured, but I thought that was such a gutsy Mike Tomlin coached team victory. To me, they're my number 3.
And it might be one of the lone wins for the Steelers, because without T.J. Watt, they lose the heart of that football team.
It's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one. All right, my three biggest losers of the weekend, Sunday from the NFL. Cowboys got to be number one. Not only did they get run out of their building 19-3, they can't move the football. They can't run the football. They lose another offensive lineman. They lose Dak for 4 to 6 to 8. I mean, who knows how many weeks. Cooper Rush is their backup quarterback. They've got to hit the scrap heap today to figure out what they can find. I don't even think it's arguable. The number one loser on the weekend was Dallas.
They are. Lose starting quarterback, lose the game.
Number two for me was Cincinnati. The defending AFC champions had one thing to shore up. They had one thing in the offseason, and people thought they'd be really good. Fix that offensive line. Because your defense was nice. You got a great young quarterback, a great wide receiver. Their offensive line looked horrible. Their quarterback was on his back 7 times, turned it over 5 times. They lose to Pittsburgh. To me, they were the biggest loser because I don't think that they can do enough damage in the AFC with a bad offensive line. Not this year. Not with the teams that are in the AFC. Not with the improvement that the AFC's made. And number 3 to me was Green Bay. 7 points, dropped balls, offensive line problems, turnovers, first game without Devontae Adams. I'm surprised that they couldn't figure this out. Now, I'm not ready to sign them off. They lost to Arizona last year in the opener and ended up being the number 1 seed in the NFC. But they had Devontae Adams then. To me, they were the number 3 big loser on the weekend. San Francisco would be 3A or 3B.
Yeah, when you look at in the slop, and you figured that San Francisco, that's what they're about, winning tight, ugly games, even with Trey Lance at quarterback. Well, Elijah Mitchell goes down, George Kittle doesn't play, and it was Justin Fields with who is he throwing to? Where are the weapons? 102 yards passing in the second half. Made some big-time throws in a junk environment to get a big-time win.
Yeah. So who were your big winners and losers? How did your team do? What surprised you? What excited you? What got you going? The other thing, let me be very clear. The Chiefs are still very good. And they ran up and down. They put up 44 in Arizona. I honestly believe they wanted to put up 55, 60. They could have. They backed it off. Patrick Mahomes did whatever he wanted to, and the Chiefs didn't look like they missed a beat without Tyreek Hill. Now, Arizona might not be very good defensively. We're going to get a better look at it this Thursday night when they play the Chargers. How about that Thursday night game? Chiefs and Chargers on Thursday night. But we're going to get a good look. But they were terrific. I thought the Vikings got a really nice win. They looked so good. They didn't even really have to run the ball because Kirk Cousins did whatever he wanted and found Justin Jefferson all over the field. And then the Saints, a gutsy win. And I was concerned about them early. I thought the Saints are really good. They gave up points. Their quarterback, Jameis Winston, did not look good early. But when they needed him, he made big, big, big throws. And I thought that was a nice win, while not gigantic. It would have been a bigger loss than it is a big win. Does that make sense?
It does.
But they came back and won a road game. And then let me give you one other one to think about. Indianapolis.
Honorable mention losers.
2020 tie at Houston. I think Houston's better. But Indianapolis, if that's the team that's supposed to win the South, that's a tough tie. That's a tough result.
Well, guess what, Jeff? No one else in the South blows your doors off either after week 1.
No, that's why Houston's in the middle of this.
And for Houston, I'm not upset with Lovie Smith.
I'm not either.
Playing for a tie at that point
I'm not either.
in time.
People are losing their mind.
Instead of not being successful late and then handing the Colts field position to kick a game-winning field goal in overtime. Now, the fourth quarter, it was the Houston Texans have issues. They gave up 17 points in the fourth quarter. They could not find a way to finish that game with a lead in the second half. And that's where the frustration should be, not necessarily on playing for the tie at the very end, which could actually come out benefiting this team somehow, some way, if this division continues to look like this, which is just wide open. Jacksonville might have showed flashes, but you know who looked really good yesterday? Carson Wentz. That dude was dropping dimes. He had a really good start. That throw to Terry McLaurin, go-ahead touchdown, was really good on a 51-yarder. Wentz had himself a day.
So you get all that. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. There's so much else from the weekend, but it's all there for you. Aggie fan, I got Jason's email on the Aggie loss to UTEP, and then the Miners are coming in this week. So we're here, and I'm going through your correspondence when we come back at 505-246-0610. Turning the page now to the fall, back end of the year. So you got football season, events, holidays, time to not only feel your best, but to look your best as well. Ladies and gentlemen, NuMale is there for you, as they always are. For the men, NuMale's there to help you handle things like fatigue, depression, even erectile dysfunction. Industry-leading testosterone replacement. They're also there for you with industry-leading hair replacement options. Guys and ladies, the number is 505-652-1688, or you can go online at NuMale. That's NUMALE.com. So you can pick the option that's best for you. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy that uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle to stop hair loss and regrow hair. They have an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser. It's proven to regrow hair. NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week, and they have no linear scarring. The treatments work for both men and women who want natural, thicker head of hair with no side effects. NuMale's right here in Albuquerque. You can give them a call at 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688, or online at NuMale.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
And the sports animal.
All right, you're sending correspondence, so I will share them. Emails Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com or JJ at sportsanimallabq.com. And you're sending text to 505-246-0610. Text line's been busy this morning. Says happy cheese-free Monday. Skol Vikings. Big win for the Vikings over the Cheeseheads yesterday. 23-7 Vikings were winners. Text line says Texas got ripped off. That was a safety versus Bama. Hook 'em horns. I agree with you. Can't agree more. This one says make Green Bay great again? Question mark. It's going to take some work. Text line says speaking of bowing down, the Mountain West Conference can now take its place behind the FCS, Weber State, and Incarnate Word. Hey, if the Mountain West can say it's on par with the Pac-12 after a few victories, FCS can proclaim the same over the Mountain West. Rough weekend for Mountain West. Boise State was a winner here. Utah State got beaten home by Weber State 35-7. And Incarnate Word went into Reno and beat Nevada 55-41. So in those two games, you're giving up an average of 45 points to FCS teams.
And Nevada was not a good 2-0 team.
They beat
it's
New Mexico State and Texas State.
They're a bad team that beat two teams that were worse than they were.
I think that's right. So Jamie,
and then it's a wake-up call.
We were sitting with a guy from Mountain West the other day, and he told me Nevada's a lot better than you think. I'm like, okay, all right. This says it looks like a safety to me. Yeah, me too. Me too. We're talking about the Texas game. Next one says the only people who think Notre Dame is a national power live in New Mexico. I would say they're scattered all over the country. I would say there's Notre Dame honks all over the country who think they're a national power. This one says same old story. Lobos lose, Aggies lose, United lose, Isotopes lose. Gee whiz, Lobo helmets looked hideous. If I'm Rocky Long, I'd be insulted on Danny G's comment that the defense gave up. Wow. All right, first of all, I thought those Lobo helmets looked fire. I thought they looked great. Do you think they looked hideous?
No, I did not think they looked hideous.
I thought they were awesome. Secondly, don't you think Rocky Long would be the first one to tell you if his defense faltered or gave up in the second half? Don't you think Rocky and Danny have had that conversation? You think Danny just came on the radio and said that? And why would you be insulted? Well, I mean, yeah, he's your mentor. He's respected, but you're the head coach. You can't call a spade a spade? What should Rocky be insulted about? Rocky didn't give up. Have you listened to Rocky Long over the last 25 years? Mm-hmm. So you're going to call out a defense if they didn't play hard in second half, fourth quarter, whatever? Don't you think? This one says receivers didn't get open either. Yeah, JD, that's one of the things that I was seeing, and Danny mentioned that. He said in the second half, receivers have to win one-on-one battles and get open. There's got to be someone for the Lobo quarterback to throw to. And this last one here says the dude's head is in the mud. Mud predicted the Lobos over LSU. Actually, there's one more. The highest scoring team in college football, the Kansas City Jayhawks, 56 points a game. They won by 13 in overtime. The max in college overtime win is 14. So how do you win by? I guess if you
they had a
2-point conversion, then you pick 6 the other way. Yeah.
They had an interception to close out the game. The dude ran it all the way back.
Yeah.
Kansas wins at West Virginia.
That's a big
Rock Chalk Jayhawks.
Yeah, that was big. All right, you're also sending emails. Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com, JJ at sportsanimallabq.com. Ren says, out of sight, out of mind, Jeff. This weekend is massive for Lobo football. Lose, you go on the road for a month, and the talk isn't going to be about the next home contest versus Wyoming. The discussion is going to turn to the hyped Lobo basketball. You were saying this during the break. This is a really, really big game, isn't it?
Yes. This goes from, all right, you're playing a game that you want to see the team compete in. they did. Now you're playing a game that I'm expecting the Lobos to beat UTEP on Saturday.
And I know Stigler came in and he said, would you be surprised if UTEP beats the Lobos?
Would disappointed be better? Because the
Yeah, that's
Lobos
fair.
are not runaway favorites over
No,
UTEP.
they're dogs.
But I will take those points all day right now. I haven't felt this way in a long time.
Okay.
Like, of thinking that's a game New Mexico can go out there and win.
It's a big one. It's a big week.
Because I
they're
think
gonna
that
go LSU.
defense is real. New Mexico State ran for 187 yards against UTEP. So why wouldn't the Lobos be able to do that? Because that New Mexico State offensive line is bad. The Lobos offensive line is struggling. New Mexico State's offensive line is bad right now. This
I don't
lines
disagree.
up well for the Lobos at home, and it's right on. And if you go out there and you can't run the football against UTEP, the offense looks like that, you're not getting people back to that stadium.
This one's from Ren. Says Hama's bringing it today. Thank you, Hama. Carl says Lobo football 2021 versus 2022. Sadly, Jeff, I think the difference is Timex Terry just wasn't that good. It wasn't all his fault. Gonzalez decided not to breeze him in spring, which was a huge mistake, and it was probably a massive culture shock coming from a state that had been pretty much open the past year to one that was shut down. Carl, I can't disagree with you that much more. This wasn't. You think Terry Wilson wasn't good? I guess we're just Lobo fan because Terry Wilson played behind a bad offensive line and then got hurt. So did he fake his way to 10 wins in the SEC?
It was everyone else. It wasn't Terry Wilson.
Okay, so all the talent around him was good, but the quarterback wasn't that good. He didn't throw for all those yards, all those touchdowns. Everybody else was good, but Terry Wilson wasn't. Terry Wilson,
And it's not like, Terry Wilson played in a road game at UTEP without his top 8 wide receivers, and somehow it was only a 20.
right? It was a 1-point game, or a one-score game. This is one of the most boggling things, and I kind of get it because you didn't see
tell
it
me.
when it was here. You didn't see it here. But Terry Wilson, this whole he wasn't very good thing, like he wasn't good
should've-
here because he didn't have an opportunity to be good here.
Should have redshirted him last year.
All right, Jason's in on the Aggies. Says still wobbling. Good morning, OD. Well, good job, good effort for the Aggies. A loss to a rival always hurts, but for some reason, as an Aggie fan, I'm still wobbly. But there's cause for hope. UTEP has a good program, and the Aggies played with them after a terrible first quarter and a half. Previous Aggie teams would have quit being down 17-0, and we'd be talking about a waxing today. But Jerry Kill has instilled a never-quit mentality in this program, and frankly, that bodes well for the future. Shot to win at the end is all a program wants, and the Aggies had a shot. You win some, you lose some. On to Lobo football. Hey, Lobo football, the Arkansas State Red Wolves called. They want their uniform and helmet combo back. I guess after the weekend, the Sun Belt had it's not bad to emulate a Sun Belt squad. Here's an observation. Lobo receivers could not separate from Boise State's secondary. The only time that happened when Boise State had a second-string DB, number 41. It's going to be a problem when they play teams with good defensive backfields. I guess there is improvement with Lobo football as well. 1 punt block instead of 2. Oh, damn. On to Wisconsin. Go Miners. Crimson Lee Jason. P.S. Props to Coach Danny. Shouting out New Mexico quarterbacks Hardison and Pavia. Hardison is the quarterback at UTEP from Hobbs, and Diego Pavia, New Mexico State's quarterback, who is from Volcano Vista, Albuquerque.
Are you playing 2 quarterbacks?
Until one separates, man.
That's the way.
I mean, aren't you until one separates?
I think you have to just get Frakes the opportunities, but Pavia is the only thing that gives you life. Just
Pavia
running
earned the
around.
start this week, didn't he? But you're going to throw him out there at Wisconsin, and I mean, the same thing's going to happen.
So I think you start Pavia, Frakes plays some, just get them the reps, and then games
after this.
The
Or
rest
is it
of the
Hawaii
way.
after this?
You just keep playing both the rest of the way.
Maybe
I think
until
you do.
somebody just separates and becomes the guy. Until that happens. All right, we'll go to the phones when we get back. 505-246-0610. That's area code 505-246-0610. I got a bunch more correspondence for you as well, and I know you want to get in on the weekend that was, which was sensational. You're probably on your computer right now, right? Your computer system vital to the success of your business. And if they don't work well, your computers, productivity grinds to a halt. And there's a whole lot that can go wrong. Network servers, remote access, hackers. You got to think about all that. And as a business owner, you don't have time to be a computer technician. That's why ABQ IT is a name you need to know. You just want to know that your system will work, that they're secure, and you want to know how much it's going to cost. ABQ IT has created a business model with you in mind. They're going to monitor your computers and network to keep everything operating smoothly, provide state-of-the-art cybersecurity to protect your entire operation, and best of all, it happens at one predictable cost. Remember, well, you've heard about all these cyber attacks, ransom attacks. Bernalillo County was hit. Albuquerque Public Schools were hit. Shuts them down for days. Productivity comes to a halt, and it costs a lot of money. Don't let it happen to you, and don't think it won't. ABQ IT handles all that. No more different providers for your internet, for your security, and then when you need to buy new computers, one company, one affordable cost. Get a free assessment and see what ABQ IT can do for your business. Visit abq-it.com, abq-it.com. No more worrying about your computer systems when you do business with ABQ IT.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home.
Football.
Football. United lost on the road 3-1 to Rio Grande Valley over the weekend.
That's football.
That's football. David, good morning. Thanks for holding.
A couple of questions that kind of deal with how teams are weighted and ultimately judged, because over the season, teams do well compared to their 1 or 2 wins here or there, and everybody reacts to the local thing like right now, the first week, everybody's celebrating the Bills, and ultimately the question is, how good are the Chargers? And that's the first question I have. If you judge a team week to week versus over the season, the other question related to that I have is, how do teams get weighted for like playoff consideration? A relevant question as the playoffs will expand to 12 teams, and ultimately, if there's any choice, how bowl selections get made based on, weight of the team. Because I'm mindful of there's Mountain West teams that won the Rose Bowl, TCU, and ultimately when Utah beat Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. I say that because there was a 12-0 Hawaii team that showed up to the same Sugar Bowl, and you know what happened in that game?
They got
handled by whoever they played,
It was
and they
Georgia.
come in undefeated, Mountain West. So if you compare those two teams, same game, different opponents, maybe equally weighted, Utah beats Alabama. Ultimately, Hawaii loses miserably. I think it was to Georgia.
Yeah.
And I guess the question that said is, going forward, how do you think the selection will be determined as of now? Like the Chiefs, the Bills, the Chargers, and even I think the Packers are done. I think the Buccaneers are done. I think the Rams might even be done based on what I'm talking about, how poorly they did. But it's only the first week.
Yep. It's overreaction weekend. All right. So there's a lot there. Thanks, David. All right. So I'm a little confused on the selection when he was talking bowl games and then the pro teams. Overreaction weekend, overreaction Monday is today, right? Biggest overreaction. Oh my gosh, what did we see? Packers stink, Rams are done, Bengals are done.
It's week one, absolutely.
That's what we do.
But all you can do, too, at times is react week to week. And then when we get to certain points, we build off multiple weeks.
All right, so let me go back to the college stuff. How's it done? I mean, there's a system, and the highest rated Group of 5 champion will be the team that plays in the New Year's Six Bowl. I remember that Hawaii team was a WAC team, and I remember being on the field. They beat Nevada. I went to Reno for that game. They beat Nevada, and I want to say they beat Colin Kaepernick in Nevada to go to the Sugar Bowl. And Kerry was with me, our operations manager, and we were like, "There's no way." Like that was one of the easiest bets. They were just small. JJ, that was a small. Like their offensive line was small, and up against that SEC Georgia team, yeah, they got rolled. Look, so you know who else gets rolled in some of those games? Notre Dame, Oklahoma, don't they? Washington. How many times have we seen New Year's Six games, and especially semifinal games, teams get rolled? So. I mean, that was part of the conversation. The other part of the conversation is, what's he asking about selections? I mean, there's no selections in the NFL. There's no selections. Everything is slotted. There's nothing left to a bunch of people in a room, right? It's wins and losses and standings, and everything is slotted. There's no selections when it comes to the National Football League, right? So I guess I'm not clear on what exactly was the question. Do we overreact on week one? Hell yeah, we do. Every single year. Isn't that what we do?
That is what we do.
Right about now, we absolutely.
Matthew Stafford was a quarterback at Georgia for that game.
What was the score? I mean, it was 50-something.
41
right?
to 10.
41-10. All right.
Easy day for Stafford. 14-23, 1 touchdown. No Sean Moreno. 2 rushing scores.
Who was Hawaii's quarterback that year?
It was Cole Brennan, the late
Cole Brennan. Yeah, I mean that was like of all the teams, the Utah team that won the Sugar Bowl, the TCU team that won the Rose Bowl, they were really good. That Hawaii team got through the WAC. That was before they came into the Mountain West, beat Nevada and Colin Kaepernick to get there, and Boise State. They got through Boise State that year too. Hey Ken, good morning.
Good morning, guys. I just wanted to give you my a minute and a half take on the Lobo game. I just started listening, so I apologize if everybody's kind of already reviewed that game.
No, you're in. Go.
Yeah, so when I got there, I didn't know what to expect because I hadn't been to a Lobo game in a few years before COVID, maybe 2 years before COVID. So I was absolutely pleasantly surprised with the fans. There was 16,000 people there, but when we drove up, people were tailgating. People were, families were together. People were barbecuing. It was an amazing atmosphere before the game. Then when we went into the stadium, the student section was packed. People were loud. Third down defense. People would get up and cheer for the defense. it was absolutely surprising how good 16,000 sounded. And everybody was into it. People were partying. People were having a wonderful time. And I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely shocked. And if I was the coaching staff for New Mexico, pretty much, guys, this is about as good as it's going to get right now. And I think it's pretty good for 15,000, 16,000 people. Now, if you start winning, you start bringing in those other 2,000, 3,000 people, 5,000 people, and it adds to that. But I was very, very surprised of how good of an atmosphere that was for being, 16,000. Now, the game in the first half was very, very boring. I mean, there was not much going on. A lot of defense, which was great. Our defense looked good at times. But it was actually kind of a boring game to watch. I mean, there wasn't much to cheer about except defensively, which is good. Second half was a little better, but by the fourth quarter, it was pretty much empty. People were left by the third, fourth quarter. And so I bet you how many of those 16,000 actually watched the 2 touchdowns. I don't know, because when we went out to the parking lot, there were still people in the parking lot just sitting in lawn chairs. They didn't even go to the game.
Yeah,
they just sat in the parking lot just partying and having fun. Yeah. So very, very surprised. Kudos to the fans that went. There's nothing to complain about with the fans. Zero. Opposite. I'm very impressed. Good job, fans. Keep it going. Now we just got to get some wins. That's all I got, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you. It's really interesting perspective, right? So that guy was at the same game as that guy was. We just had someone in our studio 2 breaks ago saying, yeah, I was there, and the crowd was dead, and there was there wasn't much cheer for. I'm like, really? Because I didn't feel the crowd was dead. He says, were you out in it? I said, I was on the field for the first quarter and a half. I went up to my seats for the second quarter, and then I was with you for the third and most of the fourth in the press box. I did not get a feeling that it was a dead crowd. Now, we had somebody standing in our studio saying, oh, yeah, no, nobody was into it. And Ken says people were totally into it. I got more of Ken's feel. And that's kind of why I do like to watch the game from different spots in the stadium. I did think the atmosphere before the game was good. Look, it's not going to be Alabama with 100 or 80,000 people or Texas A&M with 100,000 people because there's 16. And a bunch of you are coming right before the game. But I thought now, again, I've got people in that I know, and so I did go to a number of tailgates beforehand. And I thought everybody was there. People were in a great place. I ask you this all the time. What don't you like about hanging out with people you like, having a few sodas and laughing and BSing on a beautiful evening? Like it was to me, I thought the atmosphere was really, really nice.
He's right about the students. I noticed that. That student section was packed for Friday night.
Yeah.
That was good to see.
Yeah.
And the kids out there, yeah, they're partying, they're having a lot of fun, but they stayed in the stadium for a while. And that's really good to see that, the north end zone. I get it doesn't look good on TV. You can take all the pictures you want of the east sideline to try to make your point. But right now that base is about 15,000. The west stands, north end zone for the most part, is going to look like you're at a football game, and the rest of it is, all right, if you can get some offense, pick up a couple games, see if you can get up to 20.
I thought for what they had, I thought the atmosphere was nice. Fred, good morning to you. How you living?
Hey, guys. Hey, I know you mentioned the Oregon State game against Fresno State, but I just want to tell you how exciting it was at the very end. It came down to
last play.
Last play. But before that, though, Hayner had to go down, and they were down by 3, and he goes and drives them down in 2 minutes, which still gives Oregon State a couple minutes to come back and score. But what they did is they missed the extra point, though, so they were only up by 3. So that gave Oregon State a chance to go down and kick the field goal and go into overtime. The thing is, they have this 6'6", 250-pound guy that caught 4 passes. His name is Musgrave. His uncle is the offensive coordinator for the Broncos. And anyway, he caught 4 passes in this drive, and then he dropped the ball in the end zone with 3 seconds to go. And so they decided to go for the tie. So they kick the ball, but Fresno calls timeout, and so they have to re-kick it. And then all of a sudden, I guess, Oregon State said, you know what, the heck with it. Yeah. Let's just go for it. So they have this guy, I can't remember the guy's name right now, but he does everything. He does offense, defense, special teams. he ran the Wildcat. They ran the Wildcat. He went to the right side, didn't even get hit. The blocking was so good, and that's how they won the ball game. They did it by. I just thought that was pretty cool, though, that Fresno thought they were doing the right thing, calling timeout, and then they ended up losing the game because Oregon State changed their mind and went ahead and went for it. So, but Oregon State's better than people think. Now they beat Boise and they beat Fresno, and Hayner threw for 350 yards, and Mims had over 100 yards for Fresno. So, I mean, it's amazing how good they did, but they still lost the ball game. So, just wanted to let you know.
That's really good.
Kind of exciting.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
Okay, guys.
Thanks, Fred. And by the way, Oregon State is good. They beat 2 of the 3 best teams in this league.
Yeah. It's a good year for Oregon State so far.
Now they'll go into the Pac-12 and see. And look, Washington State went on the road and won at Wisconsin. SC looks to be the cream of the crop there. Will Oregon bounce back? But Oregon State right now is nice. All right, we'll wrap it up. Still got time for you to get in at 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Glad you're with us this morning. Thank you. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. Forget the SEC and Big Ten. The conference grid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
All right, you guys want to, or at least somebody on the text line wants to see more Christian Washington for the Lobos. Isn't he part of the running back stable? Guaranteed he will make a difference against the better teams on the schedule and wreak havoc against the lesser, still winless ones. Okay, so he wants to see more of that. Is it the same? Nope, this is a follow-up sort to clarify a confusing part of a recent call. Selection exists in college football, even in the CFP, in a process that involves a team's reputation. Okay, so what he's saying is there how much in the college football playoff selection, how much of it is reputation? And they're telling you that in that room they've done everything they can to take reputation out. And I would tell you that by the end of the CFP process, every year that we've had this, right, and this is what 6 years. I think they've gotten it right. I don't think a team has gotten in on reputation. And as much as you and many others have prayed for havoc, right? You just want it all to explode. You want chaos. The college football.
Well, you know what I want? I want you to tell me conference championships matter.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me that we're not weighting everything to one conference.
But that hasn't been.
And I get it. At the end of the
criteria.
day, I know. And that's why I like 12 teams. Is I want.
Right.
You go out there. Alabama's the best team. Ohio State. Okay, Georgia.
Yeah.
But I want you to say, "Hey, this matters," instead of everyone trying to get to the Big Ten or the SEC and have 20
I agree
team
with that.
conferences.
No,
I
I
want there to say, you know what? Maybe the SEC is better, but you won your conference. You did what you had to do.
You get a shot.
Here's your opportunity.
And I don't disagree with that. That's never been the criteria, and so the CFP has done its job with the criteria that's been in front of them. I think over the 6, 7, 8, whatever years it's been, the college football playoff has gotten it right. They've gotten the right 4 teams. We've had very little argument. Now, there's always like a Michigan who feels like they should have got in over whatever. Okay, but almost always we sit here on that Monday and go, well, yeah, they got it right. They got it right, and the system has worked. Now, were there fortunate circumstances on the Saturday prior to that in games with teams losing to make it obvious? Yeah, but it's played out. So I don't know that there's been a lot of reputation and past performance that is factored into that. I think for the most part, and we'll see going forward, right? There's still going to be 6 at-larges going forward in the new college football playoff. Bourne says, where was Boise's supposed stud Frosch quarterback, Jeffy? I saw him one snap. That's what he played because Bachmeier played well. Because their senior played well, they didn't have to go to him.
I think that's a credit to what the Lobos are doing defensively, where even in a game that Boise State wasn't doing anything offensively, Avalos stuck with his senior as opposed to just throwing Green in there and letting him run wild, which there was a point in the second quarter I'm like, how have we not seen him yet just try to break something and get the Broncos offense going?
Rod said, the day Rod was laughed out of the room, Jefferson. Decades ago, I was a poor grad student working on a research project, trying to come up with incentives that would get people to respond. I told group members that I knew a couple folks on South Campus where they had been pushing Lobo football hard. I could probably get a few tickets for them. That immediately drew laughter. And being told by other group members, don't bother, nobody's interested in Lobo football. Maybe Lobo basketball, if it's a big opponent, but nobody cares about Lobo football. If this was 2022, I don't think their reaction would be any different. I don't know, Rod. I hope it would be. I just, this whole, it's not cool to go there. I just don't get it, man. I think everybody who went out there, I think, had a good time. If you had people you were hanging out with, even if you didn't, I thought the vibe in the parking lot in the stadium was really positive. Lobo Hobo says, question of the day, Jeff, why will folks bitch and cry and write to the paper if they have to stand in line for 5 minutes to get into University Stadium because they waited until 50 seconds before post time to arrive. But these same folks will wait in traffic for 2 hours and another hour at the ticket window to get into the state fair. I'm going to tell you this again. I ran into this with one of my buddies at San Diego State. If you wait to download your tickets or buy your tickets or go in till 5 minutes before kickoff and you have to stand in line, that's on you, man. I mean, go look at any, and I know you're not Texas, but go anywhere. Where do you go in at 5 minutes before a concert?
Gotta download your tickets beforehand.
It's pretty easy. It's pretty, and by the
Put 'em
way,
in your wallet.
if you do that earlier, the Wi-Fi is going to be faster. It'll be in your wallet. One of my buddies at San Diego State went to his first game at Snapdragon and sent this group text complaining about the Wi-Fi and how much water costs and how much beer costs and the lines and the trolley was $5 and everybody else just jumped on him. It's like, dude, really? Was your Wi-Fi even on? The Wi-Fi is super fast there. Why did you wait till the last second to download your tickets? Why did you wait till the last second to go in? They had free water at the north and south end. Bring a water bottle. That's free. By the way, $15 beers are everywhere you go. I mean, you whiny little bitch. Like, I mean, it really is what that came down to. If you're whining and crying about it, it's on you, man. It's not on them. It just is. Hondo says, died on the warning track, Jeff. The announcers said it was so hot and humid, it felt more like, oh, wait, let me give you this one first. Ryan was at the Texas game. Whew. He was on the field at the Texas game, the Texas-Alabama game. And he said, first-hand on-the-field evaluation, Texas was impressive. It was humid, 130 on that field. But they played just as well as Bama. One blown play for 80-yard run, and that last drive were the difference. And, by the way, it wasn't a safety because he hit the defender with the pass. Weird rule for sure.
Yeah, because he wasn't down yet when he got rid of the football.
Yeah.
There was a lot of, not just on Saturday, but Sunday. Did you see, Jeff?
Yeah.
The end of Cleveland, Carolina, and the controversy that's coming out of that one with the delayed spike where Jacoby Brissett took an awkward step back and then spiked it, and then Carolina's trying to argue that he did a fake spike, which is now against the rules.
Didn't see it. I read
so you
about
can't
it.
pull the Dan Marino play anymore.
Yeah, I read about it. I haven't
So
seen
all
it.
sorts of controversy. I just think it was an awkward step for Jacoby Brissett.
Is that what you think?
Like, because he opened up wide and then threw it down.
Yeah.
As opposed to a fake spike. But it's controversy all over the place.
Yeah, I didn't
And Cade
see
York, rookie, bombs a 58-yard field goal. Ruined Baker Mayfield's revenge.
Rudy, good morning.
Good morning. Well, you know, if you're a Lobo fan and a Dallas Cowboy fan, you see the problem. And I know this offensive line is going to be okay. But
Which one?
you lose your starting right tackle the week of the Boise State game. Boise State is a good team. They get good players. That 99 is going to play at the next level, so is 44. Both those guys are NFL caliber defensive linemen.
Okay, I don't disagree with you. Yeah, they're a good team.
Yeah, and you know, we just didn't react well. I mean, if you're 99, you're going to keep bull rushing, then I'm going to start cutting you. And we didn't do that until the third and fourth quarter. We should have been doing that early. I'll never forget when remember Luther Ellis, the number 1 draft pick of the Detroit Lions that played for Utah?
I don't.
Okay. Well, Luther Ellis was 6'6", 325 pounds. And my buddy Justin Hall had to go up against him when we played Utah, who was ranked number 9 in the country, and we beat them here at University Stadium. So don't tell me that you can't have a compelling game at that stadium. And people need to just, whatever the word is, Jeff, grow up, nut up, whatever you want to call it, and get out there and support your team. That's pathetic. Don't complain about the Lobos when you're part of the problem by not showing up. That was a good atmosphere. They played their butts off. I saw effort. I saw dedication. I saw kids that were committed to winning. And we closed the gap substantially on Boise. Because, you know, Steincap hits that field goal and it's only 7-point difference at half. All of a sudden you got a game. That's deflating to miss that field goal. But other than that, I thought the defense played their butts off You can't stay out there that long and only, what did they give up? 4 touchdowns?
Yeah, one of them was a block punt. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no shame in that. I really invite people to come out. And we had a pretty good tailgate going when you showed up.
Yeah,
Jeff.
no, it was good to see you, and I appreciate you. And I got to go because we're out of time. But thanks, Rudy. And it was actually really good to see everybody out there. Thanks to Danny Gonzalez for being with us today. Jim Rome show is next. The Herd with Colin Coward after that. 2 Men On at 4, and then we get Monday Night Football tonight, right?
Football.
Broncos and Seahawks. Steph, thank you for stepping in. Are you in tomorrow, or are you gone?
No, A-Marie's back.
Back to A-Marie. All right, thank you for being here. Great work. Adrian, great work. Big day for you today?
Huge day. Football.
Enjoy it, please. Be good to each other. We're back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you then.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.